Hey everybody, welcome and thanks for joining this week's GuruFocus platform overview. This week we'll be focusing on some of GuruFocus's advanced analysis tools. Primarily we're going to be taking a quick look at the customizable 30-year financials pages, the interactive charts, and the Excel add-in. So as we've discussed previously, there's a bunch of different ways you can find these stocks to start researching. If you have something in mind you want to research, you can just use the search bar here. You can click on any ticker across the site, whether that be your recently searched here or down in one of these widgets here. Just click on a ticker to jump directly to it. You can also find stocks based on certain metrics using the screener. But we're going to be talking about some of the more advanced analysis features today. So let's go ahead and open up a stock page, and we'll start looking at some of the things you can do with the 30-year financials. So that is going to be a tab on the summary page. First, you're going to want to open up the stock summary page you're interested in, and then click on 30-year financials there. Also, just a quick pause here since I missed it in the intro. If anybody has any questions at any point, make sure you throw that in the chat, and I'll see if I can address those as we go along. But this is your 30-year financials page here. Up at the top, you've got some quick graphs and kind of a key metrics summary table up here at the top. But if you scroll down just a little bit, that's where you'd find decades worth of all the key financial statements. Got these little sub tabs here that you can use to quickly jump between sections. So that's where you'd find income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Unfortunately, on the YouTube stream, I don't think you guys can see my mouse, but those tabs I just used to navigate between those subsections, it's right below the 30-year financials tab here. It's these little subsections. It starts with per share data up at the top, ratios, then the financial statements there. So this is how you jump between all of those sections. So like I said, we've got decades and decades worth of fundamental data here. For US-based stocks, some of our fundamental data goes back over 40 years now. So there's tons to dig in to here, whether that be the financial statements themselves or their, like I said, per share data or valuation ratios and whatnot. Now for each of these tables, got some settings up here at the top. Right now, by default, we have it set to annual data, but if you wanted to switch to quarterly data, you just move your cursor over here to the right, and in the top right corner of each of these subsections, there's a button you can click to switch everything to quarterly data, as well as trailing 12 months. So already some quick customizations there. And then on the left side, also towards the top of each of these subsections, you can switch between nominal data, per share, percent, or year-over-year change just with the click of a button here. And that'll switch everything for you in an instant. And then we've also got this great charting feature. So if you see this little green icon under the trend column next to any particular line item, all you have to do is give that a click, and it'll quickly visualize the whatever metric and the change in that metric that you've selected. So this is a super quick and easy way to come through and visualize the financial results and change in those financials over time. But if you were, say, here in the valuation ratios section, and you were looking for a valuation ratio that you like to use, but for some reason can't find in our pre-built metrics here, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, we have this button that says Add Customized Field. That's going to be in the Add Customized Field section down here. If you click that, you can then build out your own, for example, valuation ratios to add to the 30-year financial table. So if there's something you can't find, you can simply build it into the table yourself. Now, if you don't like it being all the way down here at the bottom, also not a problem, because this entire table is completely customizable. As you can see up here, I have a few customized views already set up. But if you wanted to build out your own, all you would have to do is click this Add View button here kind of in the middle of our screen now with that blue plus button next to it. If you click that Add View button, it's going to bring up a little builder here that will allow you to add or remove any of the sections of the 30-year financials that you're interested in, as well as rearrange them into whatever order you'd like. Once you do that at the section level, you would just hit confirm. You then have the option to do that same thing all the way down to the line item level. You can remove individual line items you're not interested in, move things around, and truly build this out to be to reflect just the metrics you're most interested in. So as we were touching on earlier, with some of those custom fields section, you could move those up into your table as well. So kind of infinitely customizable there. And as you can see here, you're not just limited to one extra view. You can build out multiple additional views. If you wanted, you could set one of these to your default. So every time you click on a 30-year financials page, you're automatically taken to your custom view. Just after building out this custom view, giving it a name, click and save. That'll add it to this section here. And then you would just want to come over to this button here, the kind of white and light blue button that says set as default. If you give that a click, that'll set it as your default so that every time you open the 30-year financials section, you'll see just your custom view. And then another thing you can do with that custom view is download it directly into Excel. So this big gold 30-year financial download button here on the kind of right side of the options section is going to extract the entire 30-year financials in that kind of standard format. But if you have one of your custom views pulled up here and you click this button in the middle that says export with kind of a little Excel logo next to it, that will download just the custom view that you have selected into Excel. So that's a great way to super easily move data over if you like to do any of your own financial analysis or modeling in Excel. There are other easy ways to do that we'll touch on here soon. But some of the other kind of customization here in the 30-year financials tab, click here up at the top to sort by different time periods. You can get pretty granular with that by clicking this little calendar icon. And there are some other features there. So if you start playing around with this and want any help building out custom fields or setting up a customized layout, for example, or anything like that with 30-year financials, you're always welcome to, our trial and premium members are always welcome to click any of these schedule a meeting, schedule a tutorial buttons, and sit down with a one-on-one session with a member of our team so we can walk you through whatever use case you're working on or implementation or how this would best work for you. So 30-year financials here, excellent tool for diving really deep into the data and kind of quickly zeroing in on the metrics that matter to you most. Just takes a little bit of setup on the front end, but then you can keep everything important to you front and center. Another fantastic tool is going to be our interactive chart tool. So if you were to pull up any particular summary page, like right now we're still on Microsoft, and we had previously been on the 30-year financials tab here. Just down to the right of that, towards the middle of that tab ribbon, is going to be the interactive chart feature. So the interactive chart feature is essentially infinitely customizable, and it's going to allow you to visualize and compare any kind of fundamental, technical, or economic data you're interested in. So we can see here just above the chart feature is where you'd start zeroing in on the time period you wanted to analyze. So right now I've got it set to all. So it's showing you price data all the way back to 1986. But let's say we just wanted to look at the last year of Microsoft's price change. And then if we wanted to start stacking additional metrics into this chart to compare, we've got everything in the left-hand column here separated into all these different categories. So it's a super easy and convenient way for you to browse different metrics if you're kind of looking for things to compare. But if you have something in mind, no need to go through all these options. You can just come up here towards the top of that left-hand column and use this search indicators field and just type in whatever it is you're interested in comparing, and that should pull it up immediately. And then just with one click, you can throw that on the chart as well. You can stack multiple indicators, whether it be fundamental indicators, but we also have lots of different technical indicators you can add to the chart as well if that's something you're interested in analyzing. Same thing with just a click. You can add it to the chart. This is a good demonstration of the fact that multiple different chart types, so not just line graphs. If you want to change the chart type, you would just come up here towards the top middle section where it says whatever the current chart type is. But we have, you can switch it to candles or lines or area charts. All different great customizations there. Then, like I said, you can stack on multiple metrics to compare. Looked at technical. Down here we have some economic data. So if you wanted to compare the performance of a company to broader economic trends, you could do that here easily. But you can also compare multiple companies. So if you get a chart like this built out that is a technical analysis chart or a chart comparing fundamentals to economic changes, and you wanted to analyze how those impacted multiple companies, come up here to this compare box here. On my screen, it's just directly below the interactive chart tab here. And once you give that a click, you can just type in whatever ticker you're interested in comparing, and that'll add it to the chart here. So we can see now we're comparing Microsoft with Apple. And you can stack in multiple competitors or different kinds of companies to see how they react differently to different economic changes. All kinds of cool stuff you can do with this charting feature. But if this were a chart you were wanting to monitor long term or simply come back to regularly, once you get it all built out, no need to do that again. You could just come over here to this template save button, which is going to be towards the right hand side of your screen. And once you click that, click save current settings as template. And once you give it a name, that'll save that chart under your My Templates section so you can quickly come back to it and analyze that again and again without having to completely rebuild the template. But to take things even a step further, if you want to pin one of those templates to your custom dashboards or summary pages, you can just click this Add to Dashboard button and select the template that you would like, and you can pin these templates to your summary pages and homepage dashboard so that every time you open the page, you are presented with this graph that you've built out and set up. So it's a super easy and convenient way to monitor things long term or easily compare different companies based on whatever metrics you are interested in. So this thing is infinitely customizable. Got data type here, multiple company comparison here, line type here, time period here. So you can do almost anything with this graph and then save them once you get them built out to easily monitor long term. And then again, if anybody has any questions about any of these tools, whether it be 30-year financials, interactive charts, or the things we'll touch on here in a second, make sure to throw them in the chat, and I'll address those best I can. But also keep in mind, any of our trial or premium users are welcome to schedule a tutorial and sit down with us one-on-one so we can help dig into your individual workflow and use case and make sure GuruFocus is working as best for you as it can. But one of our other advanced analysis tools definitely got to talk about is going to be the Excel add-in. So if you hover over the Tools tab here up at the very top ribbon of the website, it's going to be in red text here about a third of the way down. So it's just Excel add-in. If you give that a click, it'll take you to the Excel add-in overview page. So this will be kind of your jumping off point. This is where you'd go to download it if you don't have it installed yet, as well as some other key resources. But just to start with a high-level overview, what the Excel add-in is an extension that you can download into Excel. You then sign into your GuruFocus account through the Excel add-in, and you're then able to extract GuruFocus data into Excel without ever having to leave the Excel app. You do that using some Excel functions we've built, and so you can set this up to extract all kinds of data with minimal amounts of effort and total consistency. So you can build out spreadsheets that refresh every time you open the document, or set them up to automatically refresh data. And you can either start from scratch and build out your own custom financial models, or you can start with one of our pre-built templates. So that's where I'll kind of start for now. If you wanted to take a look at some of the pre-existing templates we have under the Excel add-in tab, it's going to be this Explore Templates button. So if you give that a click, it'll give you an overview of some of the templates we have built out that you can start with here. We have DCF and WACC calculators, historical 30-year financial templates, and lots of good stuff you could start with here with just a click. So if it's something you're interested in exploring, definitely want to start by checking out those templates, because there's a good chance they could save you a lot of time and setup and get you analyzing things super quickly. If you are looking to extract any particular piece of data, this function references sheet is where you'd find the kind of syntax of how to structure some of those requests using the Excel function, as well as an overview of just all the different kinds of data we have available to be pulled. It's essentially every piece of data on the site can be extracted using the Excel add-in. But fortunately, there's no need to memorize all of those Excel functions yourself. Unfortunately, I didn't get it pulled up ahead of time, but you can see here in the screenshot we have, there's a GuruFocus task pane that you'll open up upon loading the Excel add-in, getting all signed in. And if you wanted to start building something out yourself, all you would have to do is click this Insert Formula button, and then that's going to bring up a little builder that will help walk you through how to assemble that particular function. It'll start by asking you what piece of data you're looking for. So you just type that in and then select the one you're looking for. It'll ask you what time period you're looking for that data from, how you would like it arranged, either horizontally or vertically, whether you'd like the date displayed. And so it's a little interactive builder that just asks you questions. All you have to do is answer them and then click enter at the end, and it will build that Excel function for you and display all of that data super easily. And so under this reload data section is also where you'd find some of those different reload options, like manual reloads only, or refresh upon opening, or automatic data reloads. So this is pretty infinitely customizable. You can also start building out your own templates if you'd like, with a kind of cell reference style structure that you would, I think, need to do yourself. I don't believe the task pane does that at the moment, but I'll make sure I have a better demo for the next video ready to go. But if you build something out in cell reference style, in place of where the ticker would go in the Excel function, you could instead say, cell A4, and then every time you change the ticker in that cell, it updates your entire spreadsheet from there. So that's a super efficient way to do all kinds of really in-depth and custom analysis in Excel without ever having to leave the app. So our premium members for that get 2,000 queries per month to use with the Excel add-in, but our Premium Plus members get unlimited usage of it. So you can build out some pretty substantial and pretty substantive models and call all of that data directly from GuruFocus. So you're getting consistent data from a really quality source. And if you ever hit any snags or want some help building out these models, or how to integrate the Excel add-in into your existing workflow, again, our trial and paid users are welcome to schedule one-on-one sessions with us at any time during standard business hours, where we can sit down and walk you through everything, because we want to help you guys get the most out of the platform as possible. So again, if anybody has any questions about the things we've covered so far, please throw them in the chat and I will take a stab at them. But as far as some of our advanced tools goes with that Excel add-in, there's also a Google Sheets version. So if you prefer to use the kind of web Google Sheets version, we have that as well, and functionally it works the exact same way. So it just totally depends on what you like to use on your end. And then if you are really on the advanced end and want to do your own kind of coding, programming, integrate GuruFocus data with an app or a website, or something really advanced like that, under this data licensing tab, we do have API integration options. That's a separate subscription process from our platform membership, but you can integrate GuruFocus data via API directly into an application of your own. So if that's something you might be interested in, give this data licensing subscription button a click, fill out your information section on that page, and we'll be in touch with you shortly to try and get an idea of what your needs are, how we can best help, what data you're looking for in that regard. So that's something to keep in mind if you're interested in even integrating GuruFocus data even more deeply into an application or workflow of yours. So that does a decent job of covering some of GuruFocus's more advanced analytical tools. If you guys have any last minute questions, make sure and throw them in the chat. Otherwise, make sure and join us next week. We'll be having our monthly member engagement meeting with our founder and CEO, Dr. Charlie Tian. So make sure and join for that, because we've got some awesome new features to cover. And if you guys have any questions at all, make sure to reach out to us. make sure to reach out to us, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Uh, Also, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the holidays, and we'll see you next time.